Happy Easter, everyone. Hope you're all doing okay in this weird time and keeping safe. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, not being able to meet together with anyone, but at least we were able to communicate online. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little devotional on a bit of the Easter story today. So yeah, have you ever met anyone famous? Like a household, someone that's got a household name, so like sports person or actor or singer, social media influencer. I've only ever met Prince Charles. Shook his hand once at the Eden Project when I was 10, but yeah, that's the only one. In the Bible there are loads of names, many of which are still household names now, even in non-Christian households. But some significant and important people in the Bible aren't named at all. Like the two thieves on the cross, who we get told about in Luke 23, so we'll just read that now, and then I'll talk about that. So it's Luke 23 verse 32. Two other men, both criminals, were also led out with him to be executed. When they came to the place called the Skull, there they crucified him along with the criminals, one on his right and the other on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. The people stood watching, and the rulers even sneered at him. They said, "He saved others, let him save himself, if he is the Christ of God, the chosen one." The soldiers also came up and mocked him. They offered him wine vinegar and said, "If you are the King of the Jews, save yourself." There was a written notice above him which read, "This is the King of the Jews." Really? One of the criminals who hung there hurled insults at him. "Aren't you the Christ? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him. "Don't you fear God," he said. "Since you are under the same sentence, we are punished justly, for we are getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong." And he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus answered him, I tell you the truth. Today you will be with me in paradise." So, yeah, I think the two thieves are actually really important that we don't, even though we don't know their names. It doesn't matter whether we know their names, for God doesn't care where they came from. God knows everything and knows everything about their life and stuff like that. God knows them just like he knows you and I. To God, all people are VIPs, so it doesn't matter whether we were talking about those household names earlier. That doesn't make any difference to God or have any influence on our on us. They're all God's. We're all God's creation, and we're all made in His image. But the reason I think the unnamed men on the cross were so significant is that every person who's lived, so all of us, either fit in with the thief on the cross who spoke to Jesus, and what did he say? He said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." So he had He just asked, and Jesus said, "Today you will be with me in paradise." And every person, like, either you ask for it to be in heaven with Jesus, or you don't. So everyone fits into a category with either of them. So just like them, we're sinners. And I know you've probably all heard it before, but I think it's good to be reminded of this at this Easter time, because it's so easy to forget. Because we're not like those thieves on the cross. We're not. You wouldn't think that you would ever be able to really relate with a thief or a prisoner who's got like the death sentence. But I think it's that we all do fit into under one of those two. Like, I can imagine all of us lining up either behind the thief who asked for who like was nice to Jesus, I kind of want to say, but like who believed that Jesus was who he said he was. But just like them, we've had to make a choice, haven't we? Either turn to God by asking for forgiveness through his sacrifice on the cross, or we turn away and fit with the man who was rebuking Jesus by just outright rejecting him. I can imagine like lots of people, like all those who everyone through history, from different countries, all different races, different ages, all queuing up behind the one that they choose to be with. So whether it's the asking for forgiveness, like the thief that asks for forgiveness, or whether it's not, and rebuking Jesus and ignoring it and being ignorant to all of that. I just think we don't really think about that. Yeah. So the questions that I gave you guys to have a think about was, which one are you like? Are you following? I know you're all coming to church, but are you all, or whether it's not, and rebuking Jesus and ignoring it and being ignorant to all of that. I just think we don't really think about that. So the questions that I gave you guys to have a look at after you read the passage that we just read was, which one do you think you would be like? Which one would you relate to? Because so often we don't really think about what we're doing to be as sinful, just because it's not as big a deal as what they did. But he was admitting that what he had done was wrong, and he did deserve that, and that was just punishment for them, unlike Jesus. But I just think that it's so easy to forget that we are all sinners, even though we're not killing or thieves. We still need to admit what we've done is wrong, and I'm not very good at that quite a lot, with God and with other people. Not very good at admitting when I'm wrong or anything like that, but it's It's so easy not to do that. But where do you think your friends and family would be on that as well? And would this Easter time now be a good time to share what you do believe with them? I know you can't be with a lot of them. It's going to be a weird Easter, isn't it? But yeah, just have a think about whether you could share with them, and let them know what you believe, and they'll listen, hopefully. And yeah. So I forgot to do like an end thing. The sun's gone in now and it's freezing. But yeah, I just wanted to say, just have a think about all of that, and about the questions that I put on the Instagram. Yeah, we're all praying for you guys at the moment, and looking forward to when we'll be able to see you again. Yeah, have a good week.